Hey guys, EDDBUD here, and today I'm discussing my running targets for the remaining part of 2020. Thanks for joining me again here on the channel, guys. I hope you've been enjoying the content recently. I'm going to keep it coming. So today I'm going to be discussing my running targets for the rest of 2020, but before I get into that, I've got a couple of updates to the channel for you. So you will notice over the next few days that the merch has finally arrived. It's through Teespring, which is one of the bonus things that you get really as a YouTuber once you hit over 10,000 subscribers. I've tried to create a bit of diversity there. There's a couple of different t-shirts. One's a unisex or men's fit type t-shirt, but there's also the option of a women's fit as well. There's a long sleeve shirt too, along with a couple of different hoodies, one with a zip and one without. The Earth Credits mug, which is one of my favourites, and also a Runners United mug too. So do head over and check those out at the store. You can access that via one of the links in the description, or if you visit the YouTube channel, you can click on store and go and check them out from there. I think the store's taken a little while to update, but you should be able to get there via the link in the description. Over the next few days as well, I'm doing a little bit of maintenance on the channel, so adding some new playlists and stuff like that, just organising stuff up a little bit more. I've also been doing that on Strava as well. I noticed there were a few shoes that I hadn't logged. There were miles sort of outstanding in the unbranded mystery shoe section, so hopefully some of the videos will be a bit more categorised, I guess. Okay, let's get into the main part of the video now. So with 2020 drawing to a close, it's certainly been a strange year, that's for sure. There's been some positives and some negatives. I've certainly found it tough to raise my game trying to do time trials and things like that. I've really missed racing alongside other people. You just get a more charged and sort of urgent environment when you're racing with others. But there's still 7 weeks left of the year to put that right and demonstrate if some of that improved fitness can help me beat some of my personal best times. I think it'd be great to try and improve on some of the personal records I've got over those common distances. Running some harder tempo sessions recently, I've got very close to my 5k personal best. I've been getting close to my 10k and half marathon personal bests too, although those races demand a little bit more in terms of a taper to get the best out of yourself really. You need time to prepare, you need the body to recover a little bit and absorb that training, and I've just been putting loads of miles in testing out all these shoes, so it's a bit of a balancing act really to prepare for one of those time trials. But I feel for a 5k a little less time is needed to actually prepare for it. That's one time trial that you can do in the short term rather than taking weeks to prepare for it. So Strava has my current 5k personal best estimated at 19 minutes 32 seconds. Although for the race that was recorded in, it was a 19 minute 53 second effort. So there's quite a bit of disparity there between Strava's estimated distance and the actual race distance. That was achieved using the Vaporfly Next Percent back in August of 2019. So there's been lots and lots of training since then. I'd really hope there's been some progress from then to now, certainly in terms of mile pace over that short distance. They're in amazingly good condition, these really. So in September I did a quick 5k time trial. Just one morning I decided to do it. I did that one over my typical route, which is nice and flat, though there's a couple of bends here and there which probably took up a couple of seconds to navigate. I used the Fuelcell RC Elite from New Balance that day, and I clocked a 6 minute 28 seconds per mile average. That's about 4 minutes 1 second per kilometre. It was ideal that day really, no wind whatsoever. I think it was about 10 degrees C. Heart rate got up to about 150 BPM. That was using my Polar OH1 Plus. In another closely matched run, just for enjoyment's sake one day, I hit just over 21 minutes on the 5k, and the heart rate didn't go past about 146 beats per minute, so there's certainly some improvement there. I think if I actually push things a lot harder towards my limit, I could easily get well under 20 seconds. I think my aerobic base is far superior to what it was 18 months ago. I've clocked just under 2,000 miles for the year so far. We've still got 7 weeks to go. I'd suggest a realistic target is probably about 19:45. I think I'll probably aim for that as a starting point. So when it comes to the 10k distance, my personal best was set actually during the Salisbury Half Marathon last year in 2019. That stands as 42 minutes 1 second over that 6.2 mile distance. I mean, I was really cooking in that race in the next percent up to the 8th mile when I got a really ill-timed nosebleed. after having one of those taper week colds that, you know, everybody gets. That really did dash my chances that day of getting under 1 hour 30 on the half distance. But like I said, I still broke my 10k personal best on that day. I think before that it was about 42 minutes 48 seconds. That was back at the Martok 10k in 2019. So that 42 minute 1 second personal best on the 10k is about 6 minutes 46 per mile, 4 minutes 13 per kilometre. I think beating that is certainly achievable now with my improved fitness. If I can sort out a nice flat and straight course, I think I'll probably aim for about 6:45 per mile if I was going to attempt to beat that one. I think it's probably about the right thing to aim for. If I can get a little under that, then great. Problem is, at the moment with the lockdown, there's no tracks available anywhere, so I've got to try and figure out some sort of route that isn't going to be full of people, and that's a big problem at the moment. On that 5k where I was just over 20 minutes, I think I ended up having to almost come to a standstill at one point because a dog had just run out in front of me and I didn't want to injure the dog. Or myself, actually. I think it's going to have to be a very early morning attempt on the local paths for the 10k. Got to try and avoid a route with any hard double backs. They just take up a lot of time. I think if I'm going to have any chance of getting under that 42 minutes, that is a necessity. I think in terms of the half marathon distance, I'm going to need a longer taper and a more dedicated training plan. I mean, I've got enough time between now and the end of the year to do that. I think just prior to Christmas actually could be ideal. So my best recorded time on the half marathon distance in a race still stands at 1 hour 34:27. That was at the Heron Half near Yeovilton back in June of 2019. That day I managed to hit a average pace of 7 minutes 3 seconds per mile, 4 minutes 23 per kilometre in the Gyakusou 4%. What a shoe. The best of the Vaporfly 4% Flyknit editions, I think. It's just such a great looking shoe. I'm certain I can knock some time off of that personal best though. I think perhaps a reasonable target would be under 1 hour 32. That target pace for getting under 1 hour 30 is certainly getting more and more achievable the more and more I run it. I have to say though, I do struggle when there's no other runners there, there's no one else to sort of pace off of. I bet loads of you have experienced that over the past few months. It really is quite difficult. It's almost like a mental issue rather than a physical one. I think aiming for about 7 minutes per mile average pace, so about 4 minutes 21 per kilometre, is a reasonable target to aim for. That'll get me in about 1 hour 31:44. I think that would be superb. I think I'd be really chuffed if I could do that just on my own, because that's pretty much how I'm going to have to do this. What do I do shoe wise though? I know I can run really well in this, and a couple of my personal bests are in this shoe. Just seems to work so well for me. Do I flip it up a bit and try the Fuelcell RC Elite perhaps for a couple of these attempts? Or how about switching back to the Vaporfly Next percent? I'm unsure. Let me know what you think I should utilise for the 5k, the 10k and the half marathon time trial in the comments below. While you're at it, you can let me know your personal bests and PRs across the distances. I'm always keen to talk to you runners. Another classic Christmas movie recommendation. You gotta love the Santa Claus starring Tim Allen. He seems to play the same character in quite a few films, but this one is quite humorous. I do like the whole setup where there's the ex-wife and the new boyfriend and the little kid who's quite outspoken, and he's got such a disappointed view about how Tim Allen conducts himself. Although it's pretty awesome, Tim Allen has to take on the role of Santa Claus, obviously helping out Santa Claus because there's only one. I particularly like the bit where he's starting to change quite considerably in terms of his aesthetic appearance, and he's becoming more and more like Father Christmas every moment. It's definitely one of those classic Christmas films and worth a viewing. I'm not entirely sure that the Santa Claus 2 and 3 are in my top 50 though. They just don't have the same charm. They haven't got the same atmosphere and vibe. That often happens with sequels, doesn't it? That's about all from me for today, guys. I'll be back soon with some more running related content. Do go and check out the new merch that we've got available for the channel. You can access it via the link in the description. Remember to subscribe and click the bell for notifications below. And it really helps the channel out if you give this video a thumbs up like and share it with your running buddies. My name's EDDBUD and I'll be seeing you